Pooh and I, we hit 1,000 subscribers, didn't we? Hello. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today is a little bit different of a video because I hit 1,000 subscribers. Yay! I am very, very thrilled about that and excited to see where this channel goes in the future. And yeah, today I thought I would do a Q&A video to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, answer some questions that have been asked on my channel many times, talk about some things. Yeah, let's get started. Is Pooh in the frame? Pooh is not in the frame. So yeah, before I dive into the questions, just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I am so proud of myself and thankful and grateful and all the things. So if you're new, my name's Kaylee. I'm 25. I spent 10 months living abroad in Finland. I'm back in the US where I'm from, and I have been making videos for about 6 months, vlogs and talking about Finland, talking about America. Yeah, if you like any of my videos or if you like this one, be sure to subscribe and follow along my journey. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some questions. Okay, so question number 1 is, what cultural aspects do you miss the most about the US, and what would you want the US to adopt about Finland? The things that I miss the most about the US wasn't a ton, but now that I've been back, I think it has been really nice to have, I guess, kind of what you would call Southern hospitality or like Southern charm. I really enjoyed when people do smile at you, like in the grocery store, or just little things like that that seem to, at least to me, they kind of feel like subtle connections with people. I think sometimes it can seem really shallow. Like, I definitely have experienced that feeling very shallow with Americans, but after being away for so long, I gained such an appreciation for the Finnish culture and about how they just leave you alone and no one is like in your space. And I talked a lot about that in a video about disliking that about the US. And I still do, but there's just a familial feeling about coming back to where I grew up and seeing people that I either know or that know me or who have seen me in the city throughout my whole life, just waving hi and smiling. Like, I think I have kind of missed that, just more openness to be social and to be connecting with people. Yeah, I definitely have missed that a little bit. And then things that I would love the US to adopt. That's kind of a long list and a loaded question, but I kind of thought about it, and I think something that I really valued about Finland was that they are so sustainable. They're so into sustainability and very adamant about recycling and creating places to take your cans and your glass to recycle it. And then like the grocery stores, you had to pay for bags and they were all paper. They never had plastic bags. And here in the US, you can't recycle like cans or anything in a way to like get money back. Only in a couple of states you can do that. There's maybe 4 or 5 where you can recycle cans and get money back, but in the country overall, that's not really a thing in most of the states. And they still have plastic bags in all the grocery stores, and paper is much less available. Like, I remember like 15 years ago as a kid having paper bags, you know, at like Trader Joe's or something, but which I think they maybe still do at Trader Joe's. But yeah, anyway, I definitely miss that, and I feel like the US would greatly benefit from like overall adapting that type of environmentally friendly practice. Yeah. Next question is kind of a slew of questions that I'm going to answer like sort of in a row. Someone asked if I had a video explaining why I was in Finland and how I ended up there, and also asked if we considered staying in Finland and looking for jobs. So yeah, I was in Finland with my boyfriend, Daniel. He got accepted to a program at Aalto University for like architecture, wood, and that realm of things. So yeah, he's an architecture student and had been wanting to go to this program at Aalto for many, many years. It finally lined up and ended up working out last year. So when he got accepted in March, we spent a couple of months like figuring out, you know, if he was gonna go and if I was gonna go, and we finally just landed on, okay, let's both like move there and see how it goes. And so we worked for like 4 or 5 months over the summer tirelessly, and were able to pull it off. And so we lived there. Whether or not we considered staying, we definitely tried to stay. We ended up just running out of money and wanting to come back to tie up some loose ends in America and see family and kind of refocus and reassess what we wanted to do. Something I thought a lot about was like, there was a lot of people asking if we were going to stay in Finland when we were there, and like telling us we should just get jobs and try to stay. And though I would have loved to have done that, the thing that Daniel and I thought a lot about was like, if we were going to stay in Finland or if we were going to come back, we wanted it to be really intentional. And so staying just because we were already there and because it was like out of desperation to get a job just didn't really align with the way that we wanted to do that. So we ended up like using the rest that we had to come back to America, and the plan would just be to like move back someday, not necessarily to Helsinki, but definitely to Europe. We like the living style and the pace of life and the work life, you know, balance and differences than in the US, and of course like the weather and the cold countries are really appealing to me. So yeah, the next question is sort of piggybacking off of that. Definitely was asked quite a few times on my channel during like my vlogs earlier this year, just living in Helsinki and stuff. I was asked a lot how we afforded it, and not that Helsinki is that expensive, but I think it was pretty clear that like I was just filling my time with making vlogs and I didn't have a job. I think I mentioned that multiple times. But yeah, the way we afforded it was that we literally worked for like 5 or 6 months in the US before moving, and we both worked 2 jobs, and Daniel worked way more than I did. We both worked 2 jobs and worked a lot, and just like didn't ever really go out with friends the whole summer, and sold a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we basically just like sold everything and moved. So that is how we afforded it, by just selling a lot of things and then working pretty tirelessly the whole summer to save up and to go. And then we just lived on what we had saved. Yeah, we were able to like make a little bit here and there, but we didn't have work visas, so, and we didn't have like bank accounts set up there or anything. So I don't regret that, but it's something that I think I would really like to do someday. I'd love to really 100% move there, be like a living, working person. That would definitely be a goal that I'd love to do someday. So yeah. Okay, next question is, any other country you're interested in staying next? Countries we're interested in staying next. I would say I am very drawn towards the Nordics. I have definitely taken a lot of interest in like Denmark, and I guess I don't know if the Netherlands is considered Nordic. Sort of like the Netherlands and Denmark, and like I would love to visit the 2 like big cities of Amsterdam and Copenhagen, and definitely interested in Sweden and Norway. Like, I don't know. I would love to go to all of those places. And I feel like I would have to go there before I would consider moving, but I feel like I would really like Copenhagen. I liked Helsinki a lot, but I definitely feel like I could handle more city than Helsinki. Like, I could see myself living in Helsinki, but I do like bigger cities as well. So somewhere like Copenhagen that's like a little bit bigger of a city and has more just like happening in it, I guess. I would really enjoy that. But yeah, I think the dream would be to like move to one of those cities, maybe in the Nordics, and then just have like a couple of years where we're like traveling to different cities. All of those cities that are kind of on my list of places that I want to go. And if we find somewhere that we like, to just move there. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, next question is about candy. Someone asked how the Finnish candy is different from candy in the States, and it's not comparable. As you know, in multiple of my videos, I've talked about Finnish candy and Finnish ice cream and all that sorts of stuff. It is very different. I really grew to love the Finnish candy quite a bit. I've never really been a huge candy person. Like, I didn't have a lot of candy growing up. I like sweets, but I like more like cakes and cupcakes and ice cream and stuff. So candy was something that when we got to Finland, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to try this, you know, because it was like so inexpensive. You'd get like a giant tub for like 4 or 5 euros. I mean, sometimes it was like more like 6 or 7 for us, but it's not that it's less flavorful, it's just less intense. And like the sugar content of it is different, and it's much less sweet than in America. So thinking about American candy like Smarties or Starburst or like Nerds, that's really all I can think of. I like all those candies, but there's something about like when you eat those candies, it's like, ooh, like I can feel my teeth rotting as we speak. And the Finnish candy, like I didn't feel that at all. There were days when I had a lot of candy and I could feel it. I was like, ooh, all I've had to eat today is candy, and I can feel myself not feeling great because of it. It wasn't necessarily like the sugar content or anything. I never felt overwhelmed with the candy there, and I feel like American candy, I've always just strayed away from it because it just doesn't make me feel great, and you get like a sugar rush and then a sugar crash. And so yeah, it's definitely different in that respect. And definitely can't talk about Finnish candy without talking about salmiakki, which is an acquired taste, but I fell in love with it. I love salmiakki. So if I ever get a P.O. box set up or something and anyone wants to send me salmiakki, I will be here. We don't have it here. We don't have it like that. It's not, maybe you can find black licorice, but it's not salted black licorice. It's not Finnish salted black licorice. It's different, and it's not the same, and it's not good. This is going to be my last question, and it's not one that I was asked on my YouTube, but it's one that I've been asked a lot in person. What was the most memorable part about living in Finland? I have been asked that quite a bit by people like friends and family and people that have just seen me and have caught up with me after, you know, being gone for almost a year. And it seems like a lot of people, they just, you know, they want to know the cliff notes. It's like, you know, living abroad for that long, you can't just be like, what was the best part? Because that's just like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like, what was the best part of the last year of your life? And it's like, okay, well, I could pick one or two things, but that's not really going to encompass how I feel. Anyway, I thought that I would answer this question because I really do have an answer to it. It's just not really talked about in any of the videos because it's not like a pro or a con or like something I miss most. But I absolutely loved getting to see the Northern Lights. We saw them in February up in Rovaniemi. I never thought that I would ever get to see the Northern Lights in my life. Taking the trip up there and just the anticipation of like, are we going to get to see them? What are they going to be like? Is it going to be a lot or a little? And yeah, just getting to see them was, I don't know, it was like a spiritual experience, you know? It was so special, and because it was just something I never thought I would ever get to do. Living somewhere where you can see them like many months out of the year was awesome. And though we only saw them once, we had a couple friends who would see them into like March and April, like in Espoo, and I was so jealous. But yeah, I think that it would be so cool to live in a place where you could see the Northern Lights a lot of days of the year. And yeah, I don't know. It was something that was so special to me, and best and greatest things that we got to do while we were living in Finland. So yeah, I made a video about it if you want to watch it. I'll link it somewhere on the screen. Okay guys, I think that that's all the questions I'm gonna do. I really enjoyed talking a bit about some things that, you know, didn't quite make it into past videos, and just questions that people have had. Hopefully we can do more questions and answers like this. I am excited to continue the conversation about Finland. It's been hard being back, you know, just feeling like I miss it every day, and I get memories and just feelings of what it was like to be there and moments that just pop into my head randomly, and I really do miss it a lot, like so much. So I have loved getting to come on here every week and talk about my experience there and hear comments from people that are living there. Most of my viewers are in Finland, so thank you so much again for following along with me and all of my subscribers, all 1,032 of you. I'm very grateful for everyone who's following along. If you're not subscribed yet, please do. I just wanted to thank all of you guys for supporting me and for tuning in to watch what I'm up to. All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Pooh and I, we want to say thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking and following along, and for commenting, and for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. Do you have anything to say? Yeah, that's a great